Origin gents, welcome to GRX, and this is the US staging stealth bombers in Diego Garcia to strike Iran? This was our SANDBOXX latest video. Yeah, is it gonna be again? Yeah, Iran and US is happening apparently under Trump. US should know better to fight against Iran. You might have to destroy that half of the navy again. Like, wouldn't that be awful? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen this time. I don't know how powerful Iran is compared to decades ago when US literally wiped out the half the navy Iran had. Yeah, I can already see if shit goes down a few years from now. Federation's gonna make a video about it apparently. So I don't know. They have an aircraft carrier, by the way, right? Now new aircraft carrier. US should be afraid of that. So let's always one. It's gonna be interesting.
The United States appears to be massing power, including B-2 Spirit stealth bombers and Diego Garcia out in the Indian Ocean, leading many to speculate that the US is preparing to strike Iran. So let's talk about what's going on and why people are maybe reasonably jumping to this conclusion. From what we can assess from Air Force statements and publicly available flight trackers, there are at least 3 B-2 Spirits at Naval Support Facility Diego Garcia, along with at least 3 C-17 cargo planes, and maybe as many as 10 KC-135 airborne refueling tankers. Now, both the C-17 and KC-135 are aircraft that could feasibly be tasked with supporting bombing operations anywhere from Africa to the Middle East. Now, more B-2s also seem to be heading to the region, with a 4th bomber declaring a mid-flight emergency en route.
Yeah, look, man, this is no coincidence. If they're putting that many B-2s there, I think, yeah, there's going to be bombing in Iran. But what I'm thinking is, like, is that wise? Like, is fighting Iran like that wise? I get it, like, there's, like, whole political thing happening there, where Iran is funding a lot of organization that is attacking shipping routes, where a lot of countries are also, like, trying to defend that route. So it's a nuisance, right? It's a global economy, hangs on that shit. But, is bombing going to be, like, problematic? How powerful is Iran right now? That's what I'm thinking. Like, what, geopolitical ramification it will have if US bombs? Is it going to last longer? Or is this going to be a short-term thing? These are the questions. I'm guessing, like, obviously military experts probably thought about it and then put forth the idea in front of, like, the president and things, but who knows? But then again, the recently whole that debacle about in the US vice president and everybody, right? Chief staff of a lot of organizations was, like, chatting on some kind of, like, a public app where they added some journalists in that one. It's just so stupid. Like, if that's the level of incompetence is going on there, what if they make some kind of a wrong decision that just fucks up a lot of things? There's many questions out there.
And landing instead at Hickam Air Force Base in Hawaii, and potentially now even a 5th bomber on its way. Now, that would account for roughly a quarter of America's entire operational stealth bomber fleet. Now, B-2s don't actually need to relocate to Diego Garcia in order to strike Iran. The B-2 has an unrefueled range approaching 7,000 miles, and B-2 crews are known to fly truly globe-spanning strike missions that sometimes take upwards of 40 hours or more to complete. But it is common for American strategic bombers to mass in Diego Garcia ahead of Middle East strikes, even if they aren't usually B-2s, which haven't spent any really...
That was another one of my questions, right? Like, US is known to put their best planes on the shelf. Why use that when you don't have to? So for decades, they use, like, B-52 and planes like that, right? But now, since they have, like, better equipment, they're like, yeah, fine, we'll use B-2. So how many instances have there been where they use B-2 like that in proper operation, where they attack a country like this? Is this one of the first, or, like, at least at this scale? Because this is interesting, right? Even though they can use B-2 from the, like, mainland US, why do that when you have, like, a port in Indian Ocean? Why take a risk? I think that's what's going on, right? But if this shit actually happens, it would be interesting to see they're using a lot of B-2s to do the main attacking. Like, what... Iran's radar, like, there was a video where SANDBOXX also made it, like, Iran can detect F-35. Can they detect B-2? Like, how is it going to all play out?
appreciable time on that island, aside from one short stop last August, in just about 5 years now. Now, B-2s were used last October to strike Houthi targets inside Yemen, though many saw this as an intended warning to the Houthis' financial and material benefactors in Iran, who used the Houthis as a proxy force to conduct attacks behind a veil of plausible deniability. Now, positioning these bombers in Diego Garcia puts them relatively close to Iran at some 2,360 or so miles, but still outside the reach of Iran's furthest reaching ballistic missiles, with a range of around 1,240 miles. Now, despite entering service nearly 3 decades ago, B-2s are still among the stealthiest aircraft on the planet and are generally considered to be more than capable of penetrating Iran's integrated air defense network. But more importantly, the B-2 is the only aircraft on the planet rated to carry America's GBU-57 Massive Ordnance Penetrator, a gigantic 30,000-pound bunker-busting bomb that may be the only weapon in the world capable of reaching and destroying Iran's deeply buried subterranean nuclear weapons facilities. Now, thus far, the Air Force has made no suggestion at...
Wait a minute. What if they have like somehow, I mean, it's very highly doubt there. What if they have like nuclear facility where they actually have nuclear bombs? Won't this backfire? But then again, it's like many elements. Even if they have nuclear weapons, do they have the missiles to carry forward any attack in the world? Right? It would be really weird, like if they could just do that. I'm pretty sure, like, those, with treaties and shit, like, there will be half-life and everything. You'll be able to detect if there's ever was a nuclear facility somewhere. But underground thing is a problem, right? Like, you can never know that. I don't know. It would be really weird if Iran somehow in the background made some nuclear weapons.
All that they're preparing for an attack of any sort, and this massing may genuinely be little more than diplomatic theater, as a second carrier strike group heads for the Middle East, and the US continues strikes against Houthi forces, launching missiles at military and commercial shipping traffic throughout the Red Sea. The presence of these bombers and their unmatched bunker-busting capabilities may be meant as little more than a warning to Iran not to get involved as the US continues to strike their proxy forces in the region. But with tensions boiling throughout the Middle East, diplomatic theater can theoretically turn into kinetic action pretty quickly. So to be clear, the US has not expressed any plans to strike targets inside Iran. And as far as we know right now, these bombers may be doing little more than conducting exercises meant to simulate complex bombing operations in different theaters of the world. But one thing is for certain. Tehran has certainly noticed their presence in Diego Garcia and probably won't be getting much sleep until those bombers head back to Missouri, where they're based.
It could be psychological, right? Like, okay, enough of this shit, enough of your proxy war, enough of attacking our ships. We are putting B-2s there. Think of that what you will. So this could be one of those like pointing a gun at face type of thing, right? Why would you attack a place when just like threat is enough? This could be one of those things where they just calm down. I still don't get it. Why Iran tries to fuck with USA is just something like, even decades ago when they destroyed half of the Navy, like why fight US? Right? People are like, oh, it's geographically where they're located, US attacking there, it might equal the balance. No, it doesn't. US always, like even a few decades ago, they had the technology, they can fuck up any country, anywhere on the planet, right? You need to be something like how China is today or how Soviet Union was back then to even like have a chance against USA. Iran is not fighting USA. So why fund Houthis where they can attack shipping lanes, where they risk US getting, attacking your own country? Like, how does that look? Imagine if actually bombing happens and US are just like bitch slaps Iran. Imagine Iran's, like global presence now. What are they going to do? What are they going to say? It's insane. Why test shit like this? I don't know. Right, well, is the US staging stealth bombers in Diego Garcia to strike Iran by chance SANDBOXX? If you like my next one, subscribe and I'll see you next time.